the Sports Blitz.
It is a joyous day.
I love your show.
From the Emerald Coast to the edge of the atmosphere.
You gentlemen lift us up every day.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. Cause Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the topic. The show hottest wasabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Hey, Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even tried, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share. Right now.
We are live. It's 4 o'clock on a Thursday. You got one more day, baby, until the weekend, and we're so glad that you've joined us on the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is a beautiful day in Panama City Beach. The Braves tonight, no sir, they're going to take it off because, you know why? They won last night. That's right, baby. But either way, you can always find the Braves right here. They'll be picked back up tomorrow night against Arizona. 6 o'clock is the coverage time. 6:15 is the first pitch. If you want to be a part of this show, you can. All you got to do is call in on the Tropical Spas and Pools phone line. 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. As always, on a Thursday, got Jeffro in the building. Jeffrey, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, but it's sometimes you puzzle me.
Okay.
It's that splotch on the map over there. That's torrential downpour of rain that rained for like 2 hours straight at work.
Wow.
And it probably didn't even come to the beach. It's probably just at the airport, and it just moved its way to the east. And you thought
Didn't even know.
You thought it was a beautiful day.
I mean,
it depends where you're standing.
I didn't go to the beach today, but I could have.
You could have.
Yeah. So yeah,
I don't even think it rained at the beach, but the airport got pummeled.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, completely slammed.
Wow.
Lightning strikes everywhere. I mean, it was crazy.
Wow.
And yet you were totally oblivious of it because that's like 17 miles away.
It's crazy how on one side of the bridge it can do this, on another side of the bridge it can do this, and then now you're telling me at the airport it can do this.
Yeah, and you would not even know.
Nobody even knows.
And it just went.
That's where it's called
west to east because that's
it's called Florida weather.
It is called Florida weather, and it's erratic.
I'm so glad we live here, don't you? Don't you
I
love
do.
That?
I do.
love that part.
But
that's my
the rain, I could do without. I hope it doesn't rain. I know it's going to rain one day this weekend, though.
Oh, I'm sure it always does.
So the Bone Crusher knows the weather.
Yeah, Bone Crusher is our in-house meteorologist. Looking good though. I'm excited. Bone Crusher, how you doing today?
Good. And Joanna's got the forecast coming up in about 17 minutes.
There we go. So she'll let us know exactly what's going to happen tonight and then tomorrow. So starting tomorrow. So you can always find something here, no matter what sport you like or if you just like the weather. We got it for you as well. We got a great show today. What's
the lead story before we go to?
Hold on, I'm just going to tell you who we got.
I know who you got.
We got Alan Watson coming in at 4:20.
Yeah,
it's going to be awesome.
Golf.
And then we've got Coach Tommy Joe Whidden of the Mosley Dolphins coming in at top of the hour.
We got at 5 o'clock.
Yep, top of the hour.
Central time zone, no Yankee time.
That's right. 5 o'clock is that time. We've got to talk about it.
I knew it.
LSU
I knew it.
Tigers. I mean, what in the world is going on?
Do you want me to open up the amount of texts I've gotten today?
Oh, I'm sure you've gotten a lot.
Blew my phone to bits.
Yeah. Well,
These guys started burning him at the stake.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, let's talk about it for a little bit. So Jaden Daniels, the former Heisman Trophy winner for the LSU Tigers, has now sent a cease and desist letter.
No. His lawyers have, not him.
Well,
his lawyers
on
have.
Behalf
don't
of
get
him.
it. Don't get it crooked.
It's on behalf of him.
On behalf of him, yes.
To not allow image, and likeness.
Yes.
So he's basically divorcing LSU because obviously he does not want to let them use anything. When I came into the studio earlier today. Bone Crusher's got some of the things out on his desk. You know, he definitely keeps a great looking desk. Just kidding. But on the side of it, because we're carrying some LSU games this year.
Oh,
on
wow.
the cover of the program for the schedule is none other than number 5, Jaden Daniels.
What?
On the
With an LSU, not Commanders.
Yes, it's sitting right out there at the break. You can go
We've
look
got.
at it.
He's going to send us a cease and desist
I'm
letter.
just telling you that this is crazy to me because they use it. And
So he's
again,
upset that another guy got the number 5, and the
Yeah.
guy was actually number 3 last year.
Right, DJ Pickett.
Yes.
DJ Pickett's
DJ
who got it. Now, if you know anything about about this and how it goes, I'll let everybody know what's going on. So he sent him a desist
Cease and desist
letter, so they can't use his stuff or not want him to use his stuff. But now he's acting like they retired his number. Basically, it's just stupid to me because you were good, but you didn't do that well at Arizona State. You had one good year at Arizona State, and you had one good year at LSU.
Well,
let's this.
Well,
he didn't have 0 national champions. How about
tell
that?
me which year it was that he was good.
Heisman year.
Oh, okay. Because the year before, he won the SEC West and beat Alabama in overtime on a 2-point conversion that he ran the ball in.
Yeah,
and I was there and I saw it.
Yeah.
And then next year, guess what he did to Alabama and Tuscaloosa?
Got his jaw broke, I think.
He lost by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Or 3 touchdowns. I lost count because guess who was also there in Tuscaloosa? The only time I've ever been to Bryant-Denny Stadium to watch Jaden Daniels lose to Bama.
Who was there?
That game. I was there.
Yeah. Well,
I was there back-to-back years.
I'm just telling you, Dallas Turner about broke his jaw that night. So I watched that one live too. And it was not a bad hit.
I think it was 42-28. Maybe
Well,
it was 42-21.
But
I don't know. I've lost count, but I don't know which. I mean, you're saying it's the Heisman year, but guess what? More wins the first year.
Yeah, but he won the Heisman, and let's just be honest, okay? I get it. We can sit here and you can run it through.
He had
what
2 good
you
years.
think.
He had 2 good years. I'm sorry.
They didn't win a national title, so
they made its SEC championship
yeah, and lost.
and lost to Georgia.
So I mean, so what I'm trying to say is when you talk about greatness coming out of LSU,
Yeah.
he's not even the best quarterback that's even come
yeah.
from LSU.
He's top 12. We'll give him top 12.
And so he's not the guy. Okay, so there is a Netflix special called Quarterbacks. Well, Jaden Daniels is on that Netflix. And
Okay.
I'm going to tell you this, okay, because there's some more things about this whole story to me that, like, I could have told you where all this came from. And if you watch it, you can go on there and you can watch it.
Okay.
There's a specific family member that's always around him that acts like she's his girlfriend, but in fact, she's his mother. Now, supposedly, he was dating Juju Watkins. But if you look at the pictures, the mother's sitting in between him and Juju Watkins at like a Lakers game or something like that.
Yeah.
So Mama is very protective of him. And in the Netflix series Quarterbacks, you can see like she is that person. Like, so I know where this came from. This is like, you're not going to let nobody's going to wear number 5 like my baby. So I'm just telling you, this came straight from the mother. And again, this is an opinionated show. You can have your opinions. I'm going to have mine. I watched that quarterback show, and I was just like, whoa. And I'll tell you this, all right? Now, my wife, she doesn't really have a lot of opinions. But my wife said, God bless the woman who tries to marry Jaden Daniels, because that woman's going to be a problem.
Oh, yeah.
And she's single. So that makes it even worse. Or at least she seems like she's married to her son's career. So it seems like every time you turn around, when you see Jaden Daniels, look very closely. Mom's going to be right there, no matter if they're here, if they're there, wherever they are. And so, and she's, nothing wrong with having all your fingernails done and your hair done and your makeup done and all that. But I mean, she is like, she's one of those type that's just like she's going to be flashy and she's wearing all the fancy stuff and she definitely loves to make it about her. So this is where it comes from. One of our listeners said, Joe Burrow won a natty. Don't act like that. So I'm just saying, like, Jaden Daniels is not Joe Burrow. And he's not the best quarterback to come out of LSU. He doesn't deserve his number to be retired. And, I mean, I think the kid should be able to wear whatever number he wants. Now, that's the other problem. LSU doesn't really retire numbers.
No, we don't.
Right. So how do you feel about that? Do you like retired numbers or do you not?
Well, it's college football, so you will have 100 people on a team. And as soon as you hit 100, you run out of numbers because you start with 0 and you end with 99.
Right.
So I'm it depends. It totally depends upon how important the person is, whether you should or shouldn't retire a number. And if you have a storied program like Alabama, I'm sorry, you're probably going to get to about 4 or 5 people where you're like, yeah, we got to retire this guy's number because, I mean, of all everything. And if they're still involved with the Alabama program, Joe Namath, not so much. Not really involved with the Alabama thing, right?
I mean, he is, but not like an ambassador, like some of these guys.
He's a Jet guy,
right?
He's not a Bama guy. So it just depends what school you're at, I mean, RG3 didn't win any conference for Baylor, Is he a Baylor guy toting the green around? Not so much, But if you have somebody like Spurrier, obviously you've got to retire his number at the Gators.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Hurricanes, I don't know. You have to go on a case-by-case pick.
But it's almost like you have to get rid of them.
I would retire 2 numbers.
From LSU.
From LSU, and that's it.
And what would they be?
It'll be Billy Cannon, the first Heisman, who won a national title, and Joe Burrow, who did the same exact thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, not me. I'm not for the retiring of the jersey in college. If you get up to the pros and you want to retire that, that's fine. That's up to you. But for me, I think college, because exactly why you say you're usually going to get brand new guys. And you know what? This is one of those things that you run into. And Lane Kiffin's already been asked about it early on before all of this. And he was promised the number. So how do you go back and say no? DJ was promised the number. He was promised.
The player was promised.
The player was promised the number.
Okay.
So that's his number, and that's why he got it. And Lane Kiffin had said early on is like, yeah, I'm not going to go back and change what was already established because I think when he came in, I think he was already a player there. So he had already promised. They had already been promised him number 5 for next year, which was this year. And so Lane Kiffin's like, I'm not getting into all that. If he had an agreement with the former coaching staff and all of that about getting number 5, then so be it. But it just the nerve that someone else thinks that they deserve their number to be retired when the university themselves haven't retired the jersey. Okay. How do you think who do you think you are?
Okay, so let's rewind for a second. Nobody said that he wants his number retired. People are interpreting it as that. The lawyers didn't say that. Jaden Daniels didn't say that. The speculators are the ones who are saying that, his number's retired. It's just that Jaden Daniels is throwing down the NIL, name, image, likeness, for saying that you can't use my number 5. Well, guess what? You don't own number 5. LSU owns number 5.
Right.
So the likeness, DJ Pickett doesn't look like Jaden Daniels, does he? No, even if he throws on a number 5, he doesn't look like him. He's not trying to be him. He doesn't do his hair up like him.
He doesn't play the same position.
He doesn't have Daniels on the back of his jersey.
Correct.
So the whole NIL, you can shove that to the side. If he wanted to have his number retired, they would have said it in the lawyer cease and desist letter, but they didn't. So we are interpreting this the wrong way. I think it's the NIL thing.
You're splitting hairs, though. Let's just be honest.
No.
Yeah,
you're misinterpreting it.
No, you're splitting hairs.
No, I'm not.
Okay, but let me just say this. Nobody's saying we want to retire his number. But on the flip side of it, we're saying nobody can wear his number. Sure,
Yeah.
sounds like it to me, Jeffrey.
It sounds like
you
a
can
retirement.
you can say it's mauve or purple,
Yeah.
but it's pretty much
It's not
in the
the
purple.
exact same thing.
He didn't come out and say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, you can't tell somebody, hey, if you walk out of this room, I'm going to bust you in the nose.
Yeah.
But if you say, if you walk out of this room, I sure would hope that you wouldn't get hit in the face.
Yeah.
You're kind of, there's a threat there. So you're splitting hairs. I disagree with you.
No.
I disagree.
No, everybody's misinterpreting it.
No, I disagree. I think you're 100% wrong.
No.
I'm calling you out on this
So-
one. Bone Crusher, you got to jump in because there's no way that, okay, so he's saying, oh, you can't do, he's not saying specifically he doesn't want his number retired, but on the flip side of it, he's saying nobody can wear number 5. It sounds like to me like he's asking for it to be retired. Retired doesn't mean that you have to put it in a plaque or that you have to put it and
In the
hang
rafters.
it. It doesn't mean you have to do that. It just means nobody else can wear it.
Yeah.
That's what retired or number
So
means. No longer exists.
I'm telling you right now, LSU owns number 5. And if anybody owns it over Jaden Daniels, that's not LSU, it's the players who wore number 5 before him.
Right. Yeah. And you think, Brian Bryant said, don't retire numbers, just add to your ring of honor. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
do
a
that.
thing. Yeah.
Or that's what, LSU can do that. Or if they do that, I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, there's no, you've got all of this stuff going on, and this guy comes out. And let's just talk about LSU for a minute. LSU pushed Jaden Daniels. LSU was the media machine behind
Him getting
Jaden
the Heisman.
Daniels winning the Heisman.
Yes.
Because they didn't win so many games.
No,
He
they won
wasn't
like 9 that year.
right. He wasn't like, but LSU got all of their media people. They got all of their, and they pushed him.
Oh, they
now
did.
He deserved it. I'm not saying he didn't
He
deserve
did.
it.
He did deserve
He played
it,
a
but,
great.
yeah.
He played great year or whatever. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I heard a story, and I don't know if this is true or not, because the Heisman Trophy is in LSU but I heard that the governor Landry, right? Isn't that his name?
Yeah, Jeff Landry.
That Landry sent somebody down to LSU in Baton Rouge to pick up the Heisman Trophy and put it in a box and put it in the back of the truck and took it to the Capitol. Well, on the way to the Capitol, they went over a bridge over the Mississippi River and accidentally hit a bump. And all of a sudden, the Heisman Trophy fell out of the truck and went into the Mississippi River. So you know what, Jaden Daniels? I hope you can swim and go get your own Heisman Trophy. You know what I mean? Like, LSU has done nothing but be good for this guy.
Yeah.
No doubt. Got him there, pushed him there, and in essence, now he's in the NFL making loads and loads of money because LSU put him on the map. Because most people didn't know who Jaden Daniels was at Arizona State. You could have asked a lot of sports people that would have said, yeah, he's just a skinny quarterback at Arizona State, right?
Yeah.
And it's just amazing to me of how this is self-centered. This is a money grab. This is a mama grab. I think mama's all involved in it. But I just can't believe it because there's no possible way that this guy really thinks that they're just not going to use number 5 because he said, I'm going to send you. Just send your letter, buddy. You want me to sign it? I'll put some lipstick on and kiss it for you. Whatever. I'm not playing his kind of games. He can go on somewhere else. How about going and winning in Washington instead of getting hurt all the time? Worry about your name, image, and likeness, and don't have to be put in a steel body cast so that you won't get hurt this year.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. So let the record show today is the day that I will be against Jaden Daniels every single time he plays anybody. I don't care who they're playing, who the Commanders are playing, but I will be against Jaden Daniels every single time he takes the field this year, and I hope they lose every game in Washington. So there you go, Commanders, Redskins, or whoever. He needs to worry about who the name of his team is. I'm mad. This is not right.
The Louisiana people are going to be divided because some of them are still going to support him, and especially if they're playing the Cowboys. Because that's how Louisiana people are.
Listen, until LSU retires the number themselves, it's not retired.
No.
There's nothing to do about it. Do the kids going to LSU or the kids in high school, do they want that number 5? Do they like back in the 80s when Herschel Walker was the goal line stalker, we all wanted to be number 34, and that number did get retired. Is it like that?
I mean, it's a number that people want. I mean, obviously,
do
DJ.
the kids want that number?
No, I
Obviously,
think this
DJ
is a
did.
different generation. I don't think they want the number. I mean, it's not like Michael Jordan's 23.
A lot of people want 23.
Oh, they do.
They still
on
want it.
any team.
Yeah, on
it doesn't
any
matter
team.
if it's the
Yes.
Bulls. Yeah, you're right. I mean, Herschel Walker was huge for Georgia.
Yeah.
And, Jaden Daniels, are you even top 3 in
No.
LSU football? No.
No, you're not.
Really.
I'm sorry.
You're the third person to get the Heisman.
Yeah, and that's great. But LSU fans remember victories and remember
Yeah.
national championships.
And I don't want to be toxic like my friends because they're saying we would have erected a statue for you, is what they were saying.
yeah, but now
That's what
that
now,
ship
like,
has
forget
sailed.
it.
That
Forget
ship
it.
has sailed.
One bad step
Yep.
from your lawyers.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't even talk to us.
Yeah,
You're going to talk to us through a lawyer?
yeah,
Just have your mama call us.
yeah. She probably didn't even do that.
Yeah.
So, but either way, we're going to go ahead and take our first break. When we come back from this aggravation, we will have Alan Watson in the building talking a little bit about Golf Plus and whatever else. I'm sure he's going to agree with me. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
It's a coin toss game for me. You're going to totally have a coin flip on this one. I think Tennessee will be pretty well. Alabama on the road at a noisy environment over the last few years, not done too well. So I'm going to be excited by this game, but I still think the Orange will take the win on that one.
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Anna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Thursday afternoon. The rest of the day, sunshine and 92 with a moderate breeze at 13 miles per hour out of the west-southwest. For tonight, mostly clear skies and a low near 82. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and a high around 94. For Saturday, mostly sunshine in the morning, and then a chance of thunderstorms and a high of 94. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Full residential and commercial projects from start to finish. Wheelhouse is ready to help. From the moment you have the thought to build to the moment you step through the front door of your finished project, Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering will walk you through all of your aspirations. Engineering, site plans, live architectural design, construction, 3D rendering, permits, and more. Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering, 850-896-6597, 850-896-6597, and online at wheelhousedba.com.
Every year, summer ends and the kids go back to school. This year, I'm going back too, at My Computer Career. They helped me get financial aid, and I got to choose online or on-campus classes to fit my needs. Now I'm on a fast track to a high-demand IT career where the rewards can finally match my value. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu. It's never too late to go back to school.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Atlanta Braves. The Braves are off tonight, but they will be kicking back off tomorrow night against the Arizona Diamondbacks. 6 o'clock is the coverage time. 6:15 is the first pitch. If you want to be a part of this show, you can be. All you got to do is call the Tropical Spas and Pool phone line 850-215-6290. You can also text that line. As always on a Thursday, but not always in studio. But today we are blessed to have Alan Watson in the building. Alan, how are you today?
I'm great. I do want to apologize to my son because I had just hadn't had a day off in forever, and so I worked like half a day today and then snuck out so that I could just get a couple of minutes with my wife and then come be with you guys. And then he got slammed for the last couple of hours. So good job, McLean. Hang in there, and I'll be back tomorrow.
That's why we pay him the big bucks.
That's right.
That's what you got to tell him.
He's doing fine.
That's right. That's right. I want to read this real quick. You guys are missing it. Jaden is challenging the premise that name, image, and likeness stops a college. This is the next legal battle. The number is associated with him. So I get it. I get what you're saying. I understand that. But what I'm trying to say, too, though, is just because you wear a number, you don't own that number. You got to copyright that number before it's yours to say it's mine. And he didn't do that. So just because you wear it, then that means, some Joe Blow that never played a snap that wore number 5, maybe he was on the maybe it was a walk-on and he got number 5 one year. He could come back and say, wait a minute, Jaden Daniels owes me money because he was wearing that jersey. And if he's made any money off of the jersey sales of number 5 that didn't have Daniels but just said number 5, then guess what? I'm allotted to some of that money. I'm going to sue you. Like, this is just stupid. We need to get out of it. Don't you agree with me? Because I wanted to get your take on it.
The number is, that would be like trying to trademark the word the or something that's so widely used. I mean, the number is the number. The only number in sports that should ever matter and be retired would probably be like Michael Jordan's number. Beyond that, Dale Earnhardt, there's a few things that are just absolutely synonymous numbers in sports, but you got to go pretty far down the list to care about Jaden Daniels' number. He is probably the only person that cares about that. No, not picking on him personally, but I'm just saying there's a lot of guys who've played college ball, who've played pro ball, who probably to this day couldn't even remember what number they wore because they probably wore several different numbers over the years and all that. I mean, come on. That's.
All right, I'm going to throw 4 names in baseball, though.
Okay.
Jackie Robinson.
Okay, that's a great one. That's a great number.
Babe Ruth.
Okay.
Lou Gehrig.
Okay.
And Hank Aaron.
Fine.
That's it.
That's fine.
Those 4.
I would agree. I mean, there's a Mount Rushmore in every sport, right?
Yeah.
So there's you've got Kobe and you've got Michael and you've got Larry Bird and maybe Kareem or Magic or somebody. I don't know where the top 4 would be. Pistol Pete. I don't know. There's a Mount Rushmore everywhere, and everybody's going to debate it. But Jaden Daniels is not there, and it's going to take a long time to get him there. And, there's a lot of people standing in front of him on the Mount Rushmore of football. I'm sorry.
And waiting 2 years to do it after you've already been gone. Yeah, we're not having flashbacks of number 5.
No.
I mean, I do have flashbacks because I saw him in person 2 years in a row against Bama and got to see him against Ole Miss. But, I mean, that's like my experience. It's not everybody's
experience. He could have gotten him a bronze statue at LSU, but now
it's Pistol Pete, Shaq, and probably Burrow's going to get a statue.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that'll be it.
Yeah, I just think there always has to be lines. If you go to Tuscaloosa, you're going to see a statue for Saban, of course. You're going to see a statue for the Bear. But even all the great players that have come through Alabama don't have statues.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, with the history that you've had at a school like that, and 2 guys have a statue, and they weren't even players, they were coaches. So, I just think, he's wading into waters that if he was to somehow miraculously make this happen, now all of a sudden it would open the floodgates for tons of other people, and we ain't got time for all that.
No.
And look at how many quarterbacks from Alabama won a national title. We got like 10 of them.
A bunch of them.
Yeah, that
how
and
many
running
backs they've had.
Oh,
look
yeah.
I mean, look at
Derrick Henry.
I mean,
right
Ryan
now.
Williams wore that number last year. He wore number 2.
Oh, okay.
So,
there's a lot of number 2s.
Yeah.
Of course there are. There's always going to be a lot of low single-digit numbers.
Who was a return guy in like 92,
Deuce
93?
Palmer.
No.
The Deuce is loose.
David Palmer.
David Palmer.
He was a stud.
That's
yeah,
what
he
I'm
was.
Saying. And go back beyond a generation, for our parents, and they'll tell you a handful of names.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Kenny Stabler, and so this is a slippery slope. In fact, it's pre-lubricated with Dawn. You know what I mean? Like this is a crazy slippery slope where all of a sudden everybody wants to get paid for something they did. The rules didn't come into play until just recently. We cannot go back and posthumously and otherwise, people that are still alive, just be like awarding paychecks, or statues, or hanging banners, or whatever. Like it's the shoulda, coulda, woulda hour.
It doesn't make any sense, and I don't understand why you would even do that. It doesn't have any bearing on the money that you're making now. He's making a boatload of money in Washington, so why does it even matter if a young kid? And you know what? This guy's like, man, I had to take number 3 last year, but I've worn 5 ever since I was 4 years old, and my whole life. And that was one of the things I asked the coaches. And yeah, it was the past administration. It was Brian Kelly's coaches that allowed. But Lane Kiffin said, you know what? If Coach Kelly told you that, then you're keeping it. I would have done the same thing.
Somebody put this in his ear and filled him up and made him think that it was a bigger deal than it was, and he was like, "Yeah, you're right. We should mess with it."
It's probably his mama.
What I'm saying? Like somebody
it's
put
his
this,
mama. I'm telling you, it's his mother.
Until you are Kobe status, or Joe Montana status, or I mean, you picked a great one with Jackie Robinson. I mean, until we know you're going to be solidified as an absolute legend in the game down the road, maybe we don't need to care about your number and your jersey and all that.
Saints are a bottom 10 most storied program in NFL history. Yet I still feel like Archie Manning's number 8 and Drew Brees' number 9 should both be retired, and that kind of limits your quarterbacks in getting numbers. But it's not just so much of what they did, but what they meant to the city. And how they loved the city, and the city loved them back.
Can't you retire? Like, I think you said something in the last segment about it's not really like retiring the number, like basically enshrine that number. Like, hey, you're the man. We got you. Here you go. There's your plaque. And then, but we can still use it going forward.
Ring of honor.
Like you said
the Ring of Honor.
Right there you go.
Yeah.
You're going to run out of numbers at some point. And if we're going to give everybody who ever did anything a retired number, we're going to start using alphabets and Russian numerals and who knows what else.
Squared, zero squared.
I mean, how much room is on the jersey before you know it? It's, what's your number? I'm 11 divided by 43. How you like that?
I mean, their
There's
jersey.
0 and double 0.
Yeah, there are decimal points involved.
Their jersey is already going to look like a NASCAR anyway. So they're going to have all this stuff on it eventually. You know what? Let's just don't even use numbers anymore. Let's just say the guy wearing the Campbell soup logo. That's what we'll do is you get your own logo on your back and we call you by that. I mean, Ryan Williams, Campbell's soup number, that's his number. That's it. Just move on.
This should be like Power Rangers. I'm Power Ranger Orange.
Yeah. Well, we're going to run out of colors eventually, too.
Exactly.
Oh, my gosh.
I get it. And whoever this is that's commenting, I'm not saying that. But he is one of LSU's only Heisman's.
One of their only. They have 3. Yeah. Let's just go ahead and say 3. He's the third one, and he's the third most important out of the 3.
Right. Yes.
Because he doesn't have a championship.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But whatever, Okay. So, but anyway, let's get into it. Golf Plus is just rolling out the stuff. You guys are so busy that you even had to go online to make a video to say, hey, guys, I can't help you today. You can come in the shop, you can come and shop, you can look, but as far as fittings, as far as lessons, as far as, anything like that would require me to help you in more of a checking out your swing or anything like that, I can't do it today. We're too busy. Yeah. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, that was Tuesday, and we were absolutely booked solid, but we do have extra help there most of the time, and most days we're going to still be able to help you. So, like, I don't want that to get misconstrued to the point of we're saying don't come in the store.
Right.
But like you said, it was just a situation where if you had a big issue, like we didn't have time for transmissions, we only had time for oil changes that day.
Right.
You know
Understood.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have time for all that. So it was just and I just like, because we do have the power of social media, I wanted to be able to let everybody know, like, hey, today's not a good emergency day kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
If you've got something big, you need to book it for the future. If you've got something small, come on and let's get started on it. So that was just crazy Tuesday. Then the last couple of days have been okay. Today started off completely dead, and then now obviously it's been pretty busy. But I mean, we're blessed to still be busy this late in the year. The golf season kind of like a spigot and a faucet, right? It just turns off when those kids go back to school. But there have been a few years where August and September has continued to be busy because if the weather's still decent and people are still playing, but it's just that at some point people start getting distracted by high school football, college football, hunting, pro, all that stuff. It starts, so it tapers, but sometimes it just turns off cold. Right now, it's looking more like a taper and not so much a hard freeze, so to speak. But we're having fun with it, and we're doing our best. I got a new guy coming in on the 24th who's not completely up to speed, but he's been in the golf business for a while. He's PGA, so he's going to be able to help me with lessons and fittings and all that stuff. So we're excited about him. His name's John, and he's excited to come up here and work with us. And we're just, so that's going to be the next phase of what we do, is adding another person, staffing back up, and then that way we can really not have to say things like I had to say that day.
Yeah.
When you're saying PGA, what do you mean by that?
He is a PGA member. He's working on his PGA card. He's not completed all 3 years of the study yet, so he's not a full member yet, but he is in the program. So it's kind of like being about like halfway through your sophomore year in college, right? I mean, he's got just a little bit more time, a little bit more studying to go, and then he'll be official. He can put that PGA logo on his business card and everything.
Wow.
So a lot of people misunderstand. They think the PGA is the PGA Tour.
Yes.
That is obviously the professional playing ranks of the PGA. There is a PGA of America that is just golf professionals. So that could be a food and beverage a general manager at a club. That could be a general manager of a golf course. That could be a head pro that teaches lessons and runs tournaments.
Wow.
That could be an assistant pro who's working his way up. That could be somebody like me who does fittings and lessons and building, and you can have that status but maybe be in an off-course facility. So the PGA is wide-reaching in terms of what it does. And so I think a lot of people sort of conflate those two things. But he is not on the – he's a good player, but he's not going to be pursuing playing on tour.
Gotcha.
He's going to be on the other side, PGA of America, which is really there to help grow the game.
Yeah.
You know, you're really more of a high school football coach at that point, right? You're helping those youngsters get better so that maybe they can go on to something better. And even if they don't, you're just trying to teach them good life lessons and all that.
So you said PGA of America.
Right.
Is there a PGA of Europe? I mean, do they have like a separate group for that?
So I guess there is probably a European PGA, but I'm not 100% sure. But I wish you hadn't asked me that. But I mean, the PGA of America is its own entity.
Yeah.
There is the Royal and Ancient over in Europe, which is what basically guides and directs all of golf over there. And I guess they're who runs the DP World Tour, which used to be called the European Tour. But there's also PGA Americas, which is like South American tours and all around. There's the Canadian PGA Tour. So there's a bunch of different PGA. There's the LPGA, obviously, which is a separate entity for ladies.
Whoa!
So,
Hold on. Does that mean that you know? Do they have any rules with the LPGA? Because the L stands for what?
Ladies.
Ladies. So I mean,
Yeah.
we had this conversation the other day about the WNBA of what they're doing. Is the LPGA? Are they on that same barometer? I mean, are we going to
listen? You're a woman and not a lady, okay?
There's not going to be any biological males playing on the LPGA tour, and vice versa.
Because it's not supposed to, right?
Because it's not supposed to, and it's just not. You know, you could take the best college male player in America, and he would destroy the LPGA tour. And I don't say that to take anything away from women, but the men hit the ball further. They have more muscle mass. That's just the way you're built, right? And so you look at Jackson Coyven that just came out of Auburn, and on his third tournament in the PGA Tour, he wins. And in 5 tournaments, he tied Tiger Woods for the shortest amount of time on tour to then make the FedEx Cup playoffs.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. He went through 500 other pros in 5 tournaments and made the playoff.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's pretty impressive. So I don't know that there are – and when they have – let me just say this quickly. A few years ago, Michelle Wee tried it. Annika Sorenstam tried it. A couple other girls tried it. They tried to play on the men's tour in events under sponsors exemptions, just kind of as a publicity stunt, right?
Right.
And they did not play well and did not succeed because it's not set up. They're playing from way back, right, and so on.
Because don't they have where Jeff would play from if he played the women's tees? Isn't that what it is?
The women's
Did he hit from
and the women's tees in pro sports is further back than the women's tees at your local golf club, but. You know, the average women's drive on the women's tour is probably like 230, whereas on the men's tour it's probably like 290. I mean, it's a big difference, right?
Yeah. Wait, the tee is at the same spot.
No. It
you're
moves.
breaking my heart.
No, that's what I was saying. You would be playing, and when you
bowling is the only sport where they play on the same bowling alley because softball is a smaller field than baseball.
Yep.
Basketball, you play less minutes and you play quarters,
And
so
the
you get more breaks.
3-point lines in a different
and the
spot.
3-point line, a different spot. I mean, everything.
Bowling, you're right. Bowling.
Tennis, they don't play best of 5 set. They play best of 3.
You're right.
I thought golf was going to be equal, and you messed me up.
Golf's not equal.
That's why I said you have to, when you play, you'd need to play from the women's tees.
Yeah, he's been at the wrong tees all the whole time.
Every time he's ever played, he's like, man,
in bowling, they don't put up bumpers for the women.
They don't.
Oh, God.
No, I mean, I think bowling's a great example, except for the fact that most average, professional men, I guarantee you, they throw that ball at least 10 to 20 miles an hour faster.
Oh yeah, and the ball's heavier too.
Ball's heavier, so
all of that.
Still, you can try to make it equal all you want. It's not going to work. And yeah, the professional ranks aren't. Of golf are definitely not going to allow it.
Yes.
Okay, I'm for them having exactly the same thing, and instead of the par being 71 or 72, just make it like 79.
Yeah, that ain't going to work.
No, it's not going to work. See, you LSU
my
people.
Equality.
Next thing you'll want to let them know they can't use a certain putter because you use that putter. You LSU
Number
people.
5 putter.
Yeah. So let's talk about what is going on at the shop. I know that you are really excited about a specific brand that had come through that you guys have started doing.
Forward. Yeah.
How's that going? Is it still going pretty good?
That's going well. I mean, it's one of those things where it's kind of a niche product, so not everybody's going to want it, but the people that do want it are going to seek it out, and because we now have it, people are going to be coming from hundreds of miles around to get it. So yeah, that's been really good, and not only selling that product, but having it has taught me stuff that after 31 years I didn't even really realize. So it's made me a better fitter when I'm selling other brands. Like I was working with a young man yesterday who plays for Bay High. Great swing. This kid, unbelievable. Playing less than a year. And if he hadn't told me that, I would have thought he'd been playing for years. Great swing. Wow. Great swing. Really good. Great attitude. Worked hard all summer at his dad's store to earn some money so he could buy himself some golf clubs. So anyway, we were working with him yesterday, and there was just some attack angle kind of thing that was happening, and I was like, And so I asked him a couple of questions. He's like, yeah, sometimes this happens. And I was like, And because of the way we do with forward and knowing about the bounce on the irons, which is something we normally only deal with wedges, now knowing how it works with the irons, I was like, So then I was able to go to my chart, extrapolate really quickly which 2 or 3 models might work for him, save me and him both a bunch of time, honed in on something that worked extremely well, and I take no credit for that. It was just, sometimes being a smart person doesn't mean you're smart. It means you're smart enough to know where to go find the information, right? And I take no credit for it other than to say I then knew because of this other system, I knew like, hey, I've already made like new charts up because of it and everything, and I was like, boom. And sure enough, we found, we had 3 models, tried them. The second one was perfect. Circle back around to it after a while. It was perfect again. And that way he's buying with confidence. I'm fitting with more confidence than ever. And we're just getting the right product in people's hands, which has always been our mission anyway. But again, having more information makes it even more helpful. So
you guys are turning into an outstanding golf shop, is what it sounds like to me.
I hope so. We're trying our best.
But the thing is, it's not just, I know it's equipment.
Sure.
I know you're going to help them get the right thing.
Sure.
But also, they go into a store, and you were talking about the swing, right? Mm-hmm. So it's the drive, right? And there's inconsistencies in people's swing.
Sure.
And if they can figure out what doesn't work, why it's, slicing and everything, and they can make those corrections, you help them with that.
Yeah. Well, we help them on both sides of it. We help them with if there's a swing issue. Now, we try not to get too involved in people's swings unless they ask us to, just because they may be working with another teacher, and so we don't want to, conflict with that. Or maybe there's just something with their swing that's just probably not going to change. And we'll tell them when, like if I have a guy that's like, I had a guy the other day who was probably 6'4", 6'5". When you're that big and your arm span is that wide, your wingspan is that wide, everything you do is exaggerated versus a normal sized person like me or a smaller sized person like me. So I'm looking at this guy and I'm saying to him, look, no, don't take this the wrong way, but like you probably won't be able to change how far that club travels, right? Because you're so big. So if it's traveling that far and if you're even the least bit offline, guess what? That makes it work worse than if it's not traveling as far, right? So we just get real with people one way or the other. Like, hey, this is what we can fix. This is what we probably can't fix. Here's where the equipment's going to take up some of the gap in that. And then here's what you're going to expect down the road of like, can we fix it 20%? Can we fix it 80%? Maybe we can fix it 100%. But like, we just get really real with people. And then that way, when you have expectations and you meet them, people walk away a lot happier than when you sort of mislead them or misguide them and say, oh, yeah, we could probably fix that. And then there's no chance, that you can do that.
And that's the good thing about wanting to help people and making sure that you show and provide them everything that you have in your arsenal to be able to get them to be happy with not only just their product, but what your guys are saying to help them in the golf journey. Because I feel like what you were saying is that in this way, you guys are just another person that helps them get to their reached goal at the end. And that's what you're trying to do, is just be that help and consistent voice for them and show them the products that might be the best benefit for them.
Yeah.
So that's the best thing.
Yeah, we're just a guide along the way, and we'll be there, whether you need us a little bit or a lot. We have customers that come to us once or twice a year. We have other customers that are in the store almost weekly, and it is, it sounds kind of cheesy, but it's honestly, it's my joy to come to work every day and get to know that we're moving in a positive direction, right? Yeah. We're not just selling trinkets or toys or whatever. We're actually trying to help people. does it cost money? Sure it does, but everything does. And, I'm not just selling window dressing or wall decorations. I'm selling things that people can actually use and hopefully enjoy their life. Sport for some people like Jaden Daniels, that's his life in a professional sense. But for the rest of us, sport is just something we do to take the pressure off life and to enjoy time outdoors with our friends and our family and all that. And we're just trying to be a part of that. We're not necessarily worried about whether you're going to make a living at it or not.
I feel the same way. And then I come in here and then I get Jeffrey doing what he does and he ruins it. And then I get all frustrated and I start banging on the table. But either way,
I'm here to make you look good, Paul.
Thanks. Well, tell us the hours of operation and the location, my friend.
Yeah, hours of operation are 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and 10 to 4 on Saturday. We're at the Shops at Edgewater, right next to Panama City Coffee, their newest location, which they're killing it. And then we're on the other side of Firefly, and we got ice cream around us and all that stuff. So if you know where Front Beach and R. Jackson meet at the Shops at Edgewater, that's where we are. All
right. Well, go see them. Golf Plus right here in Panama City Beach. And one of our people on Facebook said that John Daly's supposed to be here tomorrow. So just so you know, not here in studio, but here in Panama City Beach.
Yeah,
so
nice. At your shop.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully
I've
he'll
met
come.
his son. I've met his son, but I have not met him yet.
There we go. So either way.
Is he flying in on...
He might. So you never know. He might be here tomorrow.
He drives a big RV.
If he comes
he
to
doesn't like to fly.
Yeah, if he comes to your place, make sure you send him over here.
Yeah, for sure.
We got parking in the back.
He's probably going to have me on a golf cart on Middle Beach where he should be.
With a cigarette.
Getting pulled over.
Coke and some M&Ms.
Yeah, that's right. Either way, thank you so much, Alan, for being here.
Thanks, guys.
We're going to go ahead and take our break. When we come back, we'll finish it up. And then at the top of the hour, we got Tommy Joe Whitten of the Dolphins coming on. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
What you're telling everybody, we need to hurry up and get the Super Conference going, the Big Ten, SEC, and then forget everything else. I agree with you. I'm ready for that. What he said? I'm ready for that.
I can see a Super Conference that brings in the best teams in the country.
Play that back, James. Let's see. Yeah, we can play. We'll go to the stenographer.
Weekday mornings 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Discover the new Kia at Bill Bird Kia. Get behind the wheel of an exciting new 2026 Kia model where advanced technology, confidence-inspiring safety, and premium comfort come together for every drive. Looking for an SUV? Check out the stylish new 2026 Kia Sportage or the family-ready new 2026 Kia Sorento. And if you need more room, the innovative new 2026 Kia Carnival MPV delivers SUV-inspired design with plenty of room for all of your adventures. Bringing style and performance together, experience the bold new 2026 Kia K4 and new 26 Kia K5. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the original 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty, giving you peace of mind that you can trust. Visit Bill Bird Kia at 2435 East 15th Street in Panama City or online anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. Bill Bird Kia, your local community dealer, where we treat you like family. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details.
ESPN Northwest Florida advertisers get results. Here's MaxFit Sports Nutrition owner Jason Kovaleski.
So if you're looking to advertise or if you have a small business and you're looking to drive traffic to your store, check out ESPN 104.3 with Coach James Hale Show. I've been working with them for 7 years. They've driven a lot of traffic to my business. I get people all the time in my store that say, hey, I've heard you're on the radio. It's one thing to advertise on the radio where people may hear it. It's another thing to be able to come on, talk to your customers directly. It's just one of the best form of advertisements I did, and I've gotten great returns off of it. So if you're looking for some form of advertisement to drive traffic, check out Coach Hale Show on ESPN. Contact Coach Hale, and he'll hook you up and get you started in the right direction and get you a lot more business.
Get results for your business. Call ESPN Northwest Florida, 850-215-4468. 850-215-4468.
The pulse of the fan. The voice of the game.
Maybe we should go and find another G League player to the Alabama team, and we probably could win.
Local and louder than ever. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, and we're so glad that you've joined us today on this beautiful Thursday in Panama City Beach. Don't forget the Braves are going to be off tonight. They'll be picking back up tomorrow night against the Arizona Diamondbacks. 6 o'clock is the coverage. 6:15 is the first pitch. The Braves on the Gulf Coast are sponsored by Hewitt Tire and Auto, Brock Pest Control, Billbird Kia, PCB Hobby, Cito, and Blue Diamond Truck Accessories right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. If you want to be a part of this show, you can be. All you got to do is call the Tropical Spas and Pools phone line. 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. We got Jeffrey in the building. Bone Crushers here. Top of the hour. Coach Tommy Joe Whidden's going to be joining us. Let's talk a little bit. I wanted to get your response to, last week we had the caller talking about the Clemson Tigers and that they're really talking about that this is going to be the year that Clemson kind of gets back into the national, because they've been out for a little while. And so they've been a little bit quiet. The only thing that we've known Clemson for lately is the controversy between Clemson and Ole Miss. That's really – Clemson stayed low-key. They stayed out of the news. Nothing really big's happening. You can't name their quarterback right now. Yeah. So they're not a team that everybody is really high on. They're giving them respect, keeping them in the top 25. They're looking at possibly playing Miami in the ACC championship. All of that still go because Dabo's there. So Dabo was asked if anyone is standing out in Clemson's fall camp. And his response, this is his response, everybody's just working. Just a bunch of nobodies. We'll see if anybody becomes somebody as we play some games. Is Dabo Swinney back to the part that he was in when he was playing Alabama every year, talking about little old Clemson? Oh, yeah. We're just little old Clemson, not doing anything over here. We're just a bunch of nobodies. Do you think that is like
a strategy
that he's doing for the media? And if he is, what do you think as players? We live in a different era now. We live in a social media. It's all about me, name, image, and likeness. I mean, players they've got sponsorship deals. They're making money. Do you think that went over well, or do you think they prepped them? Do you say, hey, coach is going to call everybody a bunch of nobodies? Do you think that kind of coaching is still relevant in the college game now, or do you think this was just a media ploy?
I don't think it's relevant with today's sports and the new generation, but I do feel like it's old school where you're playing poker and you're not showing other people your hand. And so people don't know what to expect out of you. Because coaches don't want to show everybody what they're going to do, who they have, and what they're going to do with that in the game until it happens to them and it's too late.
I get that, but we're not that naive anymore. That ship has sailed. We can sit here and name. You said yesterday. Hold on. You said yesterday we can name 20 quarterbacks in college football right now. Uh-huh. And everybody is talking about their guy. Everybody's talking about, every day you see Alabama, Georgia. You see all these teams, Texas, talking about who they got. Arch Manning is famous in college.
And that's what the new generation wants.
Right.
They want the recognition. They want myths and legends to follow behind and be like, okay, I'm going to go to the South Carolina Gamecocks because Lenore Sellers is this unbelievable player and everything. They're trying to create images that are bigger than life.
Right. And even the coaches that we talk about, like Kirk Cignetti, even his media team is pushing Josh Hoover. Mm-hmm. But you got little old Clemson over here. You got little old Dabo over here. He's just doing his own little manipulation. And so you think this is just a ploy. Dabo knows exactly who – I mean, he's got 5 stars there. He's got transfer portals guys there now. He started doing that.
Yeah.
Do you think this is just – he's just trying to downplay it so nobody talks about him so that –
yeah.
Because there's no way people are going to say, oh, we're playing Clemson, we can take the night off.
Ooh.
There's no way that's happening. So I don't get it. So
I don't know.
Do you buy Clemson or are you selling Clemson?
If you don't think that Ole Miss and other teams don't have LSU marked off on the calendar, you're wrong.
Right. Of course.
And they're not marking off Clemson as hardcore as somebody like LSU or Texas or Georgia. Right? That's what I think.
Do you think LSU because they opened the season with Clemson, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think LSU is overlooking, or do you think Lane Kiffin knows exactly what Dabo's trying to do?
No, I think Lane Kiffin's going to take it game by game because he's been around the game for 30 whatever years, around even when his dad was a coach. He knows you have to take it game by game. You can't look past anyone. He knows that. He's smart enough. He's studied the game so much, but he's hoping for somebody to look past it.
I like it. We call it poor mouthing. Make yourself the underdog.
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't think
Ty Humbert
have
just
you
said
never
on
done
Facebook?
that?
Ty Humbert just said on Facebook, Clemson will never be relevant again.
Oh, it worked.
The place is a joke. There you go. So I'm just saying, like, some people have counted Clemson out, and that's okay because I'm all right with it. That's whatever. But he's pitiful mouthing. He's, what did you call it?
Poor mouthing.
Poor mouthing, right? So
pretending to be poor.
Right. He's pretending, little Clemson. Oh, we just got all little stuff going on over here. We're just trying to be somebody. We're a bunch of nobodies.
They used to be
trying
nobody.
to be somebody.
I don't want to go and do a history lesson.
No.
Here we go.
Oh, gosh.
Clemson University used to be Clemson College. They didn't offer a whole bunch of degrees. And we stole Press Maravich, their basketball coach, to go coach at LSU and brought his son, who was in high school when he was coaching at Clemson. Clemson College used to be something this big.
Right.
And now they've gotten a lot bigger. And South Carolina still thinks that they're bigger and better than Clemson in their own state. But guess who has 2 national titles this century?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm just going to say this. People in Alabama, whenever we were without a coach, wanting to know who we were going to replace Nick Saban with, they wanted Dabo Swinney to come. Some did.
Yeah.
And so, some people don't like him. I don't know. I know that there's some hate going on right now. Not as long as Dabo Swinney is at Clemson are they going to be relevant anymore. So there you go. That's what people think. Some people think that way. Some people say Clemson's dead. I don't.
Well, somebody might have
But
said
we'll
that
see.
Michigan would never be relevant after they lost to Appalachian State. Ouch.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
they've won 1 title since then.
That is true. Well, we're going to go ahead and go to our next break. When we come back at the top of the hour, we got the coach of the Mosley Dolphins in the building. Coach Tommy Joe Witten's going to join us right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Lock it in and rip the knob off. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has turned up the power.
I'm getting an off-cheese, God, Captain.
From Port St. Joe to Panama City to Fort Walton Beach, the biggest sports signal in the Panhandle.
If I push it any harder, the whole thing will blow.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Anna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Thursday afternoon. The rest of the day, sunshine and 92 with a moderate breeze at 13 miles per hour out of the west-southwest. For tonight, mostly clear skies and a low near 82. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and a high around 94. For Saturday, mostly sunshine in the morning and then a chance of thunderstorms and a high of 94. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
This summer, Hard Rock Bet has the hottest baseball betting odds in Florida. Vig, juice, fee, whatever you call it, we're cutting it. It's the 10-cent summer sale. That's flat 10-cent lines for winner, spread, and over-under pregame bets. Same bets, better odds. This August, only on Hard Rock Bet.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Valid for moneyline, spread and over. Under pregame markets with odds between -250 and +250 only. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Back to the gap at the wall. Out of here!
With over 4 decades in business, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to take your collection to the next level. All new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia and supplies, new and vintage cards and Pokemon. Buy, sell, and trade. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards inside the Stanford Station on 23rd Street next to Academy Sports. Come see the bigger store and the larger inventory or visit online, InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Your put-downs, smackdowns, and shutdowns.
That's the difference between a winning football team and a losing football team.
It's a Trash Talk Thursday on the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. Cause Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the top. The show hottest wasabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even tried, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share. Right now.
It's 5 o'clock, and you've locked into the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. One more day until the weekend, baby, and high school football is going to be starting. We're excited about that. Don't forget, the Braves are off tonight. They'll be taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. 6 o'clock is the coverage time. 6:15 is the first pitch tomorrow. And if you want to be a part of this show, you can be. The Tropical Spas and Pool phone line, 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. Jeffrey's here. Bone Crusher's here. And to continue our high school coaches, we got Coach Tommy Joe in the house from Mosley High School. Coach, it's been a long time. How you doing?
Doing good. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on.
I know.
Glad to be back.
Yeah, I'm glad you made time for us. I know, man, it's tough because us being in the afternoon and y'all doing all that. So I really appreciate you letting us come on. And I'm sure if your coaches are coaching, thank you, coaches, for letting him come and be with us. So here we are, the most exciting part of the year for you guys, for a lot of football fans. How's it been going? And just give us a little bit of a preemptive of what's been going on with Mosley, how y'all been going.
Man, been working hard. I thought we had a really good summer. Guys been working really hard, had great attendance, have a lot of kids in the program. Right now we're right close to around 150 kids. We got 3 football teams. We got a varsity, a JV, and a freshman team. So just exciting that, a lot of kids want to be a part of Mosley football right now. And like I said, we've been going at it hard in our fall camp the past 2 weeks. And we got Bluntstown tomorrow night, and able to be here because we practice in the mornings on Thursday. So got it in this morning at 7 a.m. But yeah, so again, it's crazy to think that you start back in January, you put in all that work, and football season's finally here.
It's crazy.
It's it feels like it was just like yesterday. We're here talking about guys signing, and then then here we are. But again, it's a great time of the year. It's fall. Fall's about to be here, and it's football season, and it's the best time of the year.
Yeah, it is. It is, too. I love it. It's definitely the funnest time. Okay, so let's talk about it. We had Adam Land in last week, and it was great to see him, by the way. He looked good. He's looking really good with his – he's big and gained some weight.
Big,
He stepped in, and I was like, hey, man, you have to turn sideways to get into the door. But he looked good. He was really excited, so we're definitely looking forward to seeing him in the future. But you lose him. You lose Carson Griffin.
Right.
You lose Wyatt Fleming.
Right.
And obviously there's some other names that we talk about. Fletcher's gone.
Right.
So you lose those guys. Those guys who were staples for so many years, led your team last year. Now you've got a new group, but you've also got the guys from last year that were big players and big parts of what you were doing, starting off with your quarterback and your running back.
Right.
So let's talk about who those guys are, who now is taking, the next step, or maybe there might be some surprises that, of names that we don't know yet that we're going to be hearing about on Friday nights.
Right. As you mentioned, it's definitely going to start with JP and Sam, quarterback and running back, obviously all-state guys. Last year had great years, but some new faces. I wouldn't say new faces, but just guys that are going to have much bigger roles.
Yeah.
Jamarcus Halstead, he was our 4th receiver behind those guys that you mentioned, and Carson, Adam, and Fletch. He was our number 4. Even at our number 4, he still had a highly productive year, close to 500 yards, 7 touchdowns. He's going to be moving up into our number 1 spot. And, this summer in 7-on-7, he had a great summer, was highly productive. In the summer we go up to Hoover every year and play in a big 7-on-7 that's invite only and play some of the best teams. He went against a 5-star corner that played at Thompson.
Wow.
And committed to Texas. And Mark had a great game versus them. Caught 6-7 balls in a row on a guy that's not used to not doing that, and definitely made a name for himself, at that camp. And like I said, Mark, and then Khalil Lauderdale.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember back to our Mainland game, Khalil's just a freshman last year.
Yes.
Through those injuries, kind of got thrown into the fire there, so to speak, and played at a really high level, had a 50-yard touchdown versus a team that had a lot of fast guys. Khalil's going to be playing in the slot for us, also doing some running back stuff. So I think he's got an opportunity to be, a household name. Tanner Page is going to be that tight end that's stepping into the role that Adam and Fletch, were in. And again, this has been the message to Tanner is like, by no means do we expect you to be those guys, but just to play, to compete. And Tanner's had a great summer for us. We're excited about him. Caleb Capps, who played some tight end stuff for us. He's gotten really fast. We've moved him to the outside receiver. So, those are going to be the skill guys, while they are, unproven, so to speak, in these roles. They've definitely had opportunities last year.
Right. And
they've done a great job up until this point. I know they're excited about their opportunities.
Well, that sounds really good. Now, obviously, you had Jace and Big Chim. They both went away as well. So that's going to impact your offensive and defensive lines.
Right.
So talk about that, because that's going to be a big deal. And then you can go into talking about on your defensive side of the ball, who's going to be replacing Wyatt in that middle linebacker role.
Yeah, kind of unique deal on the offensive line. We have all underclassmen on the offensive line.
Wow.
Now, crazy enough, 3 of them started last year as sophomores.
Okay.
So DeMarcus Smith started as a 10th grader for us at left tackle. D. Jordan started at left guard, and Jaron Jernigan started at center. So our entire left side were all sophomores. And early in the year, like when you play young players like that, we had to go through our lumps, but they got better as the year went along. Obviously, they have playoff experience. So we're definitely excited about those 3 guys. We got a junior stepping in, Cam Turner, at the right guard spot, who's really worked. We had a big battle at that right guard spot.
Nice.
Leo Morgan will get some reps as well at that right guard. And then Dax Willis is going to be our right tackle. Dax played, sparingly for us last year as a sophomore. So while they are young, they all definitely have game experience. And we feel really good about that unit where they're at. And like I said, they've worked really hard up until this point. On the defensive side of the ball, the first standout guy is going to be Cole Archambault. Had 15 sacks last year, second team All-State, high motor, plays hard, gets after the quarterback, and just his energy and effort spills over into everybody else on the defensive side of the ball. Kingston Paul, our D1 corner, got injured last year, third game, tore his meniscus, missed the majority of the season last year. He's back. He's been healthy, looked like a real lockdown guy on the defensive side in our 7-on-7. Julian Aggers, who plays the nickel spot, also plays the safety, real Swiss Army knife, can use him in a lot of different ways. Last year in the Mainland game as a sophomore, had 8 tackles, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble.
Wow.
So, again, just while they're young, really talented guys we're excited about. Kane Colbert, our middle linebacker, he started for us last year as a sophomore. Again, probably our most improved player last year. Like, he's stepping into that role as Wyatt. Super smart kid, making all the calls, making all the checks, really leading the defense from a vocal standpoint. And then we picked up 2 guys, through the transfer portal, so to speak. We got Eli Waldrop that came over from Rutherford. True edge guy, can get after the passer. Is going to be a real with him and Cole, I think it's going to be kind of pick your poison on who you want to block as far as getting after the passer. And then Charlie Cotter, who was over at Arnold. Arnold played the nickel for Arnold. We've moved him inside. He's put on about 10 or 15 pounds, so he's about 210 at that other linebacker spot. And, we're really excited about our front 7, and guys been working really hard. And, again, I'm excited to watch them play tomorrow night.
Does it change? You've been here long enough where you build, the kids to fit the program and to fit where you have them. But do you ever have to change and kind of go towards a skill set? Maybe if you have something different, last year you were heavy on the tight ends, this year you may not be.
Right.
But is that something that you have to kind of every year when you go into looking at building your roster and building what you've got and looking and seeing what you've got that you have to do to kind of make, because one thing I'll remember you said last year, and especially it was like going into the playoffs, you were talking about a lot of times you just want to try to get the ball to the best players that you've got.
Yeah.
And so maybe this year your tight end might not be your best player or it might be someone else. Is that still the concept? And then if it is, how do you change that during the season?
In high school football, like you have to evolve every single year. Obviously, you have your foundation, your core things that are always going to be the same. But like again, your personnel is always going to be different. You're going to play through your best players. Obviously with Sam, I truly believe Sam has the potential to be one of the best running backs in Northwest Florida. He's going to definitely get his touches in a variety of different ways. Same thing with Khalil. We haven't had a guy since Josiah, my first year, of a slot receiver who is also a running back as well. So through that, you can just do different things, in your offense because of what those guys' abilities are. Obviously, we had the 2 tight ends. We're a lot more 12 personnel. We definitely won't be as much 12 personnel this year because, we don't have those guys. Now, with that being said, we got a young tight end that's up and coming, and John Kutros, who's in the 10th grade, 6'5", 210, and so we got another one coming, but he just needs some more seasoning, and John's gotten way better since the spring, and as that season goes along, like he will have those opportunities to prove himself. So like every single year, you have an idea of like what it wants to look like, what you want it to look like. And then, but like you still truly don't know until once you get into the game and those guys get those opportunities. And then, the offense definitely morphs and grows and takes on kind of, a mindset of its own because based off what the guys are doing out there on the field. I think kind of the worst things is you can do as a coach is be like, hey, this is what we are and this is what we're going to be. Like you have to be constantly evolving and, changing and playing through your best guys. Because, to me, that's what winning football ultimately is.
Yeah. When you built your schedule, obviously we had talked about that. We had talked about who you were going to try to get and where you were going to try to get those teams from to kind of, give you some, better experience against some bigger programs and all of that. How confident are you in your schedule and how satisfied are you with the schedule that you built with what you've got this year?
And I think I can confidently say it's going to be the hardest one that we've had since my time here at Mosley. Obviously, week 1 we're coming out with Choctaw, playing in the Final Four last year. Heck, our kickoff classic versus Bluntstown, they were in the state championship game. A year ago. So, and then that goes into Godby, second round playoff team, Niceville playoff team. Then we got Gadsden County in our
Charles.
Childs, Lincoln. Obviously we played Lincoln in the playoffs last year, and so definitely got, and then finish out the year with Bay. Bay had a great year last year, and moving that game to the last game of the season, I think it's going to create a lot of excitement, and hopefully we can have a great game and pack out Tommy Oliver. With both teams having great years, and but just really excited about our schedule. I know our kids are excited about it.
Yeah.
And heck, I know our former guys are excited. Like, man, I wish we played this schedule. It just speaks to like when you're building a program, like, and when you're trying to be the best, like kids want to play. They want that competition.
Yeah.
And we're definitely excited about it. We're gonna have to go out there and prove it. But also at the same time, you're definitely going to have to manage it as well. Just because you win a big ball game early in the year doesn't mean you've arrived in some great team. On the flip side, if you were to lose a game, doesn't mean you're a bad team. We're still working, trying to get better every single week. That's what the ultimate goal is. And but we're definitely excited about our schedule.
So you lost, and I say lost, but you lost Sean Maddox, who's now at Bozeman. How did you replace him? Obviously, yes, but who did you replace him with? Kind of talk about that, and maybe if you've added some coaches, to your coaching staff.
We replaced him with Blake Johnston. So Blake, I met Blake through. He's a cousin of one of our former assistant coaches. He coached up in Atlanta at Blessed Trinity, good football program up there. Originally from Panama City, kind of reached out. He was interested in getting back closer to home. And, we had a couple when Sean left, we had a couple of conversations, through that. I thought we really hit it off, and he came down and has a great offensive mind and has been a great fit for our program. And so we're excited to have Blake, and he's done a great job with our offensive line so far, and we expect them to just continue to get better as as the kids get comfortable with him, and then vice versa, he gets comfortable with the kids. Another guy that we added this offseason was Chase Oliver. Chase is a young coach, fresh out of college, played linebacker at Florida State, GA'd there for a couple of years, and just has a really good football mind. And, again, does a great job relating to the kids. He has that ability to coach them really hard, but they also like him. They like him at the same time. And whenever you can get that and you have a fresh voice that's done the things that the kids want to do, I think that is a real benefit for our program. So, we're excited to have both of those guys, and I think both of them have been home run hires so far. And again, done a great job relating to the kids.
Yeah, because that's huge, right?
Yeah.
Because especially when you're trying to build something, because as much as you as being like the CEO of the organization, you're trying to push that down to them because they're going to be with that coach one-on-one mostly more than they will with you. How's it been as far as with these kids getting to know you? I mean, we see at the games it's serious.
Yeah.
We see the stuff, but you guys spent a lot of time together. You went to Hoover 7-on-7s. You've went to camps. You've done the things. You spent a lot of time here.
Right.
Do these? I mean, because last year those jokers, you had some jokers on the team, right?
No doubt,
yeah. So, I mean, do you have any of those guys? Are there some? They pick up the mantle of being, a little silly, and do they try to get coach to smile more, or is it still like serious business during practice?
Oh no, practice we're always going to be serious. Like we're always going to be serious in practice. That's like I tell them, that's my sacred time, and like y'all aren't going to screw up the favorite. Like the favorite part of my day is practice.
That's right.
And but no, like when you got 150 kids in, like you're going to definitely have some knuckleheads and some clowns out there. And but that's like the locker room, and like is the greatest place, and just getting kids from all different types of backgrounds and all different types of life, all different types of characters, to get them to come together for a common goal and put others before themselves. I mean, that's what makes it really, really fun. And there's going to be hard times. There's also going to be light times. Again, to me, like I coach really, really hard, and we're big on accountability. We're big on discipline. But if you're going to coach kids hard, you got to love them hard too. And when there's opportunities to have a lighter side or have fun, you definitely got to embrace those moments. Because I learned this: rules without relationships equals rebellion.
Yeah, you're right.
And so it's all about creating a relationship, and those kids understanding that you truly care about them. You want what's best for them, and and you care about them being successfully individually.
Yeah.
And I try to display that to them every single day. And but when it's time to do football, we're going to be real serious about the football part.
Yeah. Well, when Jeffrey's here and we have the other coaches, all right. So I'm going to let a little bit of the tension build in the room a little bit. We've had Coach Jason Griffin, and he brought up you guys.
Yeah.
You got Mosley on your schedule, and of course, Coach Griffin said it's just going to be a tough game. Mosley's a great program, all of that. Then we had Coach Jeremy Brown here, who you guys have at the end of the year, which is going to be a big game for both of you.
Right.
And Jeffrey pushes a little bit, talking about the rivalry and all of that. So I'm going to push it a little bit. Now, Coach Brown said in the last 4 years he's beat y'all twice, I believe.
Correct.
Okay, so would this be considered the rubber match? I mean, this year is going to kind of solidify because you've won 2, he's won 2, right? So talk about that a little bit and talk about how important it is to play them and keep them on the schedule, being like the rival in town for everybody, because you don't want to you want to do your schedule, but you always want to keep the rivalry games. We're not trying to lose those in college football. Thank God we're not losing all of them. And how important is it to keep Bay on the schedule and then talk about, it is a rubber match, I would say.
No, I think from my standpoint, to where I think the importance of it is the game got moved to the last game of the year.
Yeah.
And to me, I love college football. I love the tradition of college football, and rivalry games need to be played, that last game of the year. And since I've been here, there's definitely been a rivalry between the two schools. And I reached out to Coach Brown. I said, hey, look, I think there's a great opportunity for both programs right now where both teams are positioned. I was like, look, man, if we would have both had the same seasons we had last year and that game was played the last game of the year, you can't tell me
standing room
it
only.
would be standing room only at Tommy
It
Oliver.
wasn't standing room
it was
only
packed.
in week 3 or 4, whenever
it was
played.
Don't get me wrong, it was packed. No, there was a lot, but I'm talking about like, and again, this is something that I, selfishly want. Like I can remember, when like Rutherford was in the heyday and like they were the last team playing and you would come to a playoff game and like it was like 3 deep on the track about that many people there.
Wow.
And like I want to get Bay County football back to that. And I think to be able to do that, like there has to be games of significance versus teams within the county.
Yeah.
And like that was kind of my pitch to Coach Brown about, hey, let's do this. If there's ever a chance for us to sell out Tommy Oliver like it was in the 2000s or back in the 90s, that you hear all these stories about of like people reminiscing of what Bay County football used to be. Like that game had to go to the last game of the season. Obviously, he thought about it and he called me a couple of weeks like, yeah, I think it's a great idea. Let's go ahead and do it. So again, that's how I definitely feel about the game. And again, I hope both teams have great years.
Yeah.
And that last game means a lot. I've definitely been a part of an Iron Bowl, and there's nothing like Alabama-Auburn when both teams are good. Houses are divided because there's people in Panama City where one parent went to Mosley, the other, somebody went to Bay High, and again, I think that's healthy. There's that competitive spirit, and we've played the past 2 years or 4 years since he's been there. We're definitely 2-2, and it's a game that we definitely have circled on our calendar. Now again, like anything, you got to manage that. Like it's the last game of the year, you got to keep getting better. But yeah, that week we'll be fired up, we'll be ready to play, and it's going to be the same thing on the other side. All these kids have played together since they're 4 and 5 years old, and everybody knows everybody, and it's a lot of fun. This summer, heck, we did a padded scrimmage versus them, a couple of weeks ago in July. And again, like we played Mariana, but again, when Bay and Mosley got on the field together, like the intensity just ramped up a little bit more. And but again, that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it exciting. And we'll definitely be looking forward to it the last game of the year.
So these kids played with each other at a young age on the same team.
Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of them.
Did. I went to the Bay game 2 years ago, and I guess I missed the twilight of what football used to be here, because the stands are pretty. I mean, they had a lot of people, and they had about 60 people in front of the concession stand too in that game. But I guess you could fill up every single seat. I mean, you're missing that little extra, I guess.
Yeah, no, just a little bit extra. And again, like when I was in high school playing at Niceville, like Rutherford was one of the best teams. I know it's crazy for people to hear this, but they were one of the best teams in the entire state of Florida, where they had a run where they went to a couple of state championships and a couple of Final Fours, and they were definitely must-see TV. And I want to say there was 1 year where Bay and Rutherford played one another third, fourth round of the playoffs. So you could imagine what that atmosphere was like. And again, I'm trying to do everything on my end to help try to recreate that for Bay County football, because again, all these kids work really, really hard. They deserve that environment. And again, I just think by moving that game to the last game of the year is going to give us the best chance to try to recreate that atmosphere at Tommy Oliver.
Yeah, and that sounds really good. One of our listeners wrote, Tommy Joe, can we get a Go Eagles, LOL? No? Okay, all right. Just checking.
Not at all. Somebody's
Rutherford's the Rams. Who's the Eagles?
Niceville.
That's where I went.
He went to Niceville.
I went to
that's where he went. So. Okay, so
I was wondering where I was going.
All right, so last question, Coach. So we've kind of asked everybody this question, and I just kind of want to get. So I mean, I've seen you on the sideline. I've been there, covering the games. I'm going to do that this year too. So if you guys will let me be on the sideline, I don't talk to the players much, but so you get a touchdown or whatever. Are we going to see Tommy Joe do some dug-in? Are we going to do? I mean, we dancing, or what are we doing this year? Because you don't want to get a 15-yard penalty for over excessive play. Because Brown says his leg is ready to go, and he had some kind of hip surgery, and he's ready to go.
Yeah.
Griffin said he's had such a bad year last year that if he gets in the end zone, he's dancing when they get over there.
Yeah.
Sean said he's always been known to dance he said, "Don't get us a penalty. I'll dance all day long."
I've never seen Sean dance.
He said he would.
I've never seen Sean dance.
And so I mean, is there going to be a time where we look over and see a touchdown? I mean, because I've seen some videos, but it was inside the locker room where y'all's having the water baths and all that kind of stuff when y'all's having a good time. So we won't see Tommy Joe dancing on the sidelines doing some kind of jig or some kind of two-step or anything.
No, you may get a fist pump or two, but there won't be any dancing.
Okay.
So we got to be locked in. We got to be focused for the next situation, and we can't be getting all emotional. We got to be locked in. We got to be focused.
Okay. All right. Well, that's kind of the answer I was thinking. So, but Coach, we appreciate you coming in. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule, and good luck. Go see them. You play this week, Friday, tomorrow night, right?
Play Bluntstown tomorrow night, 7 o'clock.
And then Thursday next week.
And then we got Choctaw coming to town next Thursday. I want to say that's on the 20th.
Yeah, so we'll be there for that one, and we're excited about that. So Coach Tommy Joe Whidden with the Mosley Dolphins, go check them out, and I'm sure that their product is going to be awesome on the field just like it was last year. We appreciate you coming in, Coach.
I appreciate it, guys.
When we come back, we're going to dive into some preseason football tonight that's going to be taking place. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
We do other ways of touching people, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, radio. Come on, guys. I'm sorry.
Grow up. We're in a good mood today. We're ready to joke around.
Who needs middle school when you got these two guys?
You're right.
You put the ball on the tee, I'm going to hit it.
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Thursday's weather. Tonight there will be a light breeze out of the west, mostly clear skies and 83. Sunshine tomorrow morning, about the same at 91. In the afternoon and evening, mostly sunny and a high of 93. About the same at 92 Saturday, and we'll have mostly sunshine much of the day but with a chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, where the locals go for the best boiled seafood around. Crawfish, shrimp, red royals, and everything crabs. Watch almost every sporting event in the country on their huge outdoor jumbotron. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on weekly events, live music, and food and beer specials. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, your home away from home for sports, good times, and great food. The best boiled seafood. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, 320 West 5th Street. Downtown Panama City.
With over 4 decades in business, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to take your collection to the next level. All new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia and supplies, new and vintage cards and Pokemon. Buy, sell, and trade. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards inside the Stanford Station on 23rd Street next to Academy Sports. Come see the bigger store and the larger inventory, or visit online, instantReplaySportsCards.com.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida gets results. Here's Alan Watson from Gulf Plus in Panama City Beach.
When we first came to Panama City Beach to launch our business, we didn't really have a voice, and we didn't have any way of letting people know that we were here and we were new. ESPN Radio has given us a way to reach our audience, which is sports fans, because of being in the golf industry. And we've managed to grow the business while staying on the radio for 6 straight years. So it's been the kind of thing that's really helped us to grow. It's brought in the most business, and it's the thing that we're recognized for and people associate us with. I couldn't be happier with our association with ESPN Radio.
To see how 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida can help grow your business, go to ESPNPC.com and click the contact button. That's ESPNPC.com and click contact.
Live, local, and now worldwide. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. serving the universe at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. We are live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, and we're so excited to have you joining us on this beautiful Thursday in Panama City Beach. Don't forget the Braves are off tonight. They'll be picking back up tomorrow. 6 o'clock is the start time. 6:15 is the first pitch. Braves are going to be taking on those Arizona Diamondbacks. I don't like the Diamondbacks. But anyway, if you want to call in and be a part of this show, you can be. The Tropical Spas and Pool phone line is wide open. 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. We can go ahead and go to the phone line. And we've got Edward on the line. Edward, how are you today, my friend?
What's going on, Paul? I just feel like disagreeing with you about something today. I don't know why, man. Just in the mood to disagree.
Well, go ahead. Well, what do you got?
Nothing much. I'm just messing around. But, hey, I wanted to bring up Pritchard Colon died. I don't know if you knew who he was.
I don't. Not really. Bone Crusher is our boxing aficionado here.
Was he a lightweight?
I believe so, but he's the one that got beat up really bad in the ring where the ref didn't call it exactly on time, and the guy had a bad brain bleed, concussion, and then he was like a vegetable majority, like for the last, like, I think like less than a decade, and he was only 33.
Oh, man, that's terrible. We can't disagree on that. That's a horrible situation.
No. But what I'm saying is, like, the dangers in sports again. You know, like boxing, football, they're dangerous sports. But is someone's death going to make a big change in the rules or anything like that? Or where does the blame go? Essentially,
I think it goes to the individual. I mean, yeah, you could say that the referee could have stopped it sooner. That kind of stuff. You're always going to have that because, and I don't want to get to the point to where we're doing computer or robot. Referees or umpires or anything. I want the human error still there. But yeah, I mean, now, Edward, I might be totally out of left field. You might disagree with this, but to me, and all of the concussion stuff that the NFL former players talk about, to me, you know the danger of what you're playing. So if the good outweighs the bad and you choose that route, then you have to know that that's a part of it, and there's always that chance, you know. And so that's just kind of how it is. But we all take chances every day that we drive our vehicles. I mean, there's another vehicle coming, you know, straight across the other lane that, you know, we got to know that we're trying to get to work, and, you know, we just got to be careful and do the best we can. So that's kind of how I feel about it. I don't think anybody's at fault unless there's something egregious happens, but you know what you're doing when you're stepping into that ring. And that's just kind of how I feel about it.
And the reason I brought it up is because you don't hear a lot about it. You don't hear a lot of deaths in boxing anymore. I mean, or in sports, you don't hear about someone dying on the field or anything like that. I couldn't even tell you the last NFL player that passed away while being hurt on the field. But it happens.
Right, it does. It's happened, and there's been, you know, some heat stuff and things like that. Yeah,
the Maryland offensive line.
Yeah, there's been things like that's happened.
Yeah. But it seems like it's a lot more off the field stuff as well. You're hearing more about that now.
Yeah. I would say off the field's way more than on the field. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think it's something that definitely can get looked at, Ed. And man, as always, man, we appreciate the call, and we didn't get to disagree much, but it's okay.
Go Dodgers.
All right, man.
This boxer, Ricardo, a Puerto Rican, he was in a bout 11 years ago and suffered a brain injury in the fight. What happened was there was an illegal rabbit punch, which is a punch to the back of the head, a highly illegal punch, and he never recovered.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And still, I'll still stand on the mountain of, you know, there's some things that I mean, there's just, you know, when you walk outside, who's to say something's not going to fall from your house? You know, I mean, that's just, you kind of, you know, you hope nobody does something egregious or illegal. But at the end of the day, you know, we all can't wrap ourselves in bubble tape and stay in our room all day. So, or even then, the ceiling fan could come unhinged and fall on your head. There you go. Sorry. Yikes. But either way, let's talk about what's going on with tonight. We got some more preseason. Now, let me tell you this. I was a little bit disheartened. I wouldn't call myself an Aaron Rodgers fan, okay? But I think Aaron Rodgers is a good player. And I enjoy some of his commentary, you know, just some of his stuff that he
Antics.
says or whatever, whether he,
he's a conspiracy theorist just like you.
Well, he likes to get stuff started, and I kind of think it's funny. I don't really necessarily.
It's entertaining.
Yeah,
I will give it that much.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
Because sometimes I'm not entertained by people.
He's definitely entertaining. Entertaining, but. The other day he was talking about whether or not Mike McCarthy was going to let him play, and they had asked, was Mike McCarthy going to, say yes or no? And he was like, well, it's my decision. And, did Aaron tell you he didn't want to play, or did Aaron tell you he wants to play or whatever? And Aaron said something that kind of hit me in the stomach a little bit. He said, oh, man, it's just a preseason. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, Paul Wilson cares. I watched Carson Beck and Haynes King go to the wire last weekend. So, yeah, I care about preseason. And so, it just kind of bothered me a little bit. But let's look at the games tonight. Obviously, we're not going to see the Stars tonight.
We're not?
Probably. Yeah, they usually don't play them early. I heard that Patrick Mahomes wasn't going to play early. They were going to wait. And which you saw Bryce Young last week, he didn't play. So tonight we've got the Lions and the Bengals. And the Packers and the Steelers and the Titans and the 49ers. And then the Colts and the Patriots, the Chargers and the Texans.
No.
Right?
Wait, I'm sorry. You're right.
Then the Cardinals and the Raiders. And we got the 49ers and the Titans.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's two big games in there, but let's go ahead and talk about the least watched game. This should be the least watched game because these two teams could be the last place again. And that's the Raiders have Mendoza, and Carson Beck is at Arizona.
Right.
But with a rib injury, Carson Beck will not be playing in this game.
Okay.
So Jacoby Brissett will be playing against Kirk Cousins to start, and then Mendoza will come in.
That's why I disagree with you. That would be why I would want to watch it, is because of getting to see these guys that are drafted in the first round. Is Jeremiah Love playing? Is Carson Beck? Is he going to play?
Yeah.
Is Fernando Mendoza going to play?
Yeah.
I want to see what Fernando Mendoza looks like in a pro offense.
Yeah.
I want to see, even if it's just against the twos or the threes or whoever, I still want to see him.
But also, it could create this same year type rivalry, like we've had in the past. I'm not saying Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning because, they had the trade thing that went down.
Right.
And it could have been a little bit different. They could have had a rivalry like that. But Mendoza just beat Carson Beck in the national championship game in January.
That would have been cool to see both of them go and play against each other. Obviously, you said Carson Beck's going to be out, but I think that's an actual. I disagree with you. I think that's seeing Fernando play tonight is going to be way more because I don't look at it.
But it's the teams, though.
It doesn't matter.
There's a couple of games where we know that these teams are potentially going to be in the playoffs, and they're big-name teams.
Yeah, but they're probably not going to play those big-name players that are going to be playing for those big-name teams. So that's what I'm saying. To me, preseason is a really good chance to see, number one, your players that you had in your college that you're really wanting to see how good they've turned into or if they've gotten any better. And then you want to see the college football stars of last year. That's what I want to see. I want to see how they do. Just like last week, we were not disappointed by watching Carson Beck and Haynes King go head-to-head.
Yeah.
And it was a great matchup, and it was a last-second score. I mean, that was one of the greatest preseason games I've watched in a very, very long time.
And Carson Beck got hurt on a third down play in the first quarter and played the whole game hurt. And then Haynes King got hurt on the last play, a touchdown score in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy how that works?
That's crazy.
So give me some more of what you're talking about because I don't want to talk down to you.
Lions Bengals.
I mean,
you're not really into it, huh?
Well, because number one, you don't really have anybody that's going to be starting at the quarterback position. There's really nobody there that I'm really thinking about from last year's college football season, or maybe a free agent that signed that might get some playing time. There's no quarterback battle. At least with Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza, there is a quarterback battle. Carson Beck and Jacoby Brissett, there is a quarterback battle. So those are kind of the things. So this one, to me, not so much. Not really looking forward to that one.
Rodgers and McCarthy for the Steelers are playing the Packers.
Yeah, and again, I don't think that. I think it'll be good for TV as far as the fans there. Maybe the Packers, I don't know if they're going to boo McCarthy or if they're going to boo Aaron Rodgers. But
it's in Pittsburgh.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just still don't know because the Packers they travel well.
Oh, they do.
So,
absolutely.
And which the Steelers do too.
Yeah.
The Steelers and the Packers and the Cowboys are, to me, the three teams that travel the best nationwide.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, you've got some guys that are, I know you're going to be really locked into that game. I figured that's why you kept it as one of your top games, because Drew Allar is probably going to get some playing time tonight from Penn State, right?
Great. I'm a Big Ten homer.
But then what about the Packers? I mean, is there anybody you're trying to see, really?
No.
Okay.
Not really.
All right, so what's the other games?
I mean, Chargers, Texans. Texans have all these defensive players hurt right now.
Yeah.
And this is going to keep me from even thinking about watching this game because they're not spectacular. The Texans don't have an offense.
Well, this is the other thing. You might want to watch the Texans and see what they do have at the quarterback position, because Davis Mills is their backup. And I've heard that C.J. Stroud has had the absolute worst start of a season of any quarterback that some of these people have ever seen.
What?
I've heard that C.J. Stroud is not throwing the ball good at all. Wow. So it might be, as much as we've talked about the Texans as being a team that we're going to watch, that they might go to the next step, and we're all hinging it all hinges on the quarterback in the NFL. If you don't have a quarterback that can move the offense, I'm not talking about being spectacular. I'm talking about the game manager that can move the ball, that can throw the ball away whenever he's almost being sacked, that can read defenses, that can check out of plays and do the things that you got to be able to do as a good NFL quarterback. I'm just saying, I think it's going to be curious to see who that guy is. If Davis Mills is going to be a guy that can come in and lead this team into the playoffs, I don't know. But C.J. Stroud, from what I've heard so far, is not looking good at all in practice. So
Davis Mills has never been spectacular.
Right. But, if you can run it and hit the people that you're supposed to hit, then so be it.
So what they've done with preseason schedules is they keep teams in their same area but not playing in their same division. So the Saints obviously are playing, teams like Jacksonville and I can't remember if they're playing Tennessee or whoever they're playing, but the Jaguars are playing Tampa, Carolina, and the Saints.
Yeah.
So they're keeping it in the region. Then we have a game tonight. It's Tennessee Titans and the San Francisco 49ers. They're traveling all the way across the nation. And I'm sorry, the 49ers have 20 injuries.
Yeah.
And that whole conspiracy theory with the power supply next door to the field.
It might be true.
I call you the conspiracy theorist, but I'm going to have to go with you on this one because things aren't adding up here.
No, they're not. But look, we've got two guys on the phone line. We're going to go ahead and take our next break. When we come back, we're going to go straight back to the phone line. So, Nate, you and Chris, you guys stay there. We will be right back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm going to listen to Jason. I'm moving Bama before. There's a lot of weapons on that Alabama football team. So Riley Williams is not being talked about, and this kid's electric. If they can just get him the ball.
He got married, too, I believe.
I hope so. To that doll?
That's good.
To his little teddy bear?
That's good. I was worried about that boy.
Weekday mornings 7 to 9.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs, with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5, and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food, on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Take the hassle out of pool ownership with Tropical Spas and Pools. Their weekly pool cleaning service covers it all. Water testing, chemicals, brushing, vacuuming, and a full equipment checkup, so you can just relax and enjoy. Ready to upgrade your backyard? They specialize in hot tub spas from entry-level to executive models, starting at $6,599. Plus, above-ground pools like an 18-foot round starting at just $4,295. Visit Tropical Spas and Pools, 3612 West 23rd Street in Panama City.
Your put-downs, smackdowns, and shutdowns.
That's the difference between a winning football team and a losing football team.
It's a Trash Talk Thursday on the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget the Braves tomorrow night will be on track, not tonight. If you want to be a part of this show, you can be. The Tropical Spas and Pools phone line right here, 850-215-6290. I want to talk about Duplay real quick before we go to the phone line. Duplay is still open and ready to go. You guys have started back school, but that's no problem. After school is definitely something you want to drop your kids off there and let them have some fun. Get off all of the staying inside and listening to teachers and all that. Let those kids go out and play and have a great time. They got great deals over there. They got all the stuff, all the bells and whistles, the drinks, the food, the sports. It's all good. It's all right there at Duplay. You can go to their website, duplayonline.com, and you can also go to their Facebook page. They got a whole gamut of things that they're doing weekly and monthly. Jeffrey, you got a read today?
Yeah, sure. We're going to talk a little bit about Deckhand Social. It's not that far from here, a little south of here. You go down Navy, and it's on your left-hand side before the Lagoon Bridge right there. And we talked about, Key West, Mahi, and everything yesterday.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, they have fettuccine Alfredo, and you don't have to have shrimp with it. You can get chicken with it.
You can
I know your wife is.
I like the shrimp, though.
You like the shrimp? So
Yeah.
you go with the shrimp.
Shrimp
Wife
and steak.
goes with the chicken and all that. They have shrimp and grits.
Yeah.
If you're into that. But they have this big thing called the beach party.
Okay.
And it's huge, and it's got a little bit of everything. And so it's one of those shareable things where you can be picking at grouper, shrimp, clam strips, crab claws, deviled crab. Of course, there's hush puppies and fries and coleslaw with that. And then, I'm not saying they have any alcohol there, but they might have a drink called the John Daly.
Oh, okay. There you
lemonade,
go.
lemonade, iced tea, and vodka.
Sounds like a drink that was called the Paul and Jeff at one time, I believe. But either way, go see them over there at Deckhand Social. We're going to go ahead and go to the phone line. We've got Nate on the line. Nate, how are you today, my friend?
Well, I'm glad I beat Chris because I don't like following him. He's so good at this.
Well, what do you think about this whole NFL thing? What do you think about preseason? I love preseason because it lets us see these guys and lets us, see if they've gotten any better.
Well, see, this is where a lot of people differ with me. Is I too like the preseason. I just wish it would come sooner. Like I'd like OTAs to happen. Then they take another little spell off, and then it's right into like practice.
Yeah.
And then I want the preseason to start like the week after July 4th if I could have it, but it's not going to happen.
No.
But, play. I mean, if you're playing 17 regular season games and you don't have much time to evaluate the new stuff that you have on the team, you got to give them more reps. You really do. And for me, that's important because you get late in the season and your number one pick in fantasy. I know a lot of people don't like fantasy. I love fantasy. I'm pretty good at it. I like to do it. It keeps me engaged. And if I need that third back pickup that's now, going to my second because my second is now my first, who am I going to pick? Or if I got, injury somewhere, I need to fill in a spot. This is the only time I get to evaluate anybody that's like a rookie or hasn't played very long.
Yeah.
And it just gives me more opportunity. Like, I'm really interested in the Chicago game. And why? Is because I got skin in the game in that game because I got one of my running backs, number 36, Savon Ahmed, who's going to be playing for the Bears, and I want to see him get some reps in because he's a good player and he could really contend.
Yeah. No, you're right. I agree with you. To an extent, I think a lot of times these guys want to kind of wait and save their body for the end of the year more than they do at the beginning of the year. To be honest, I believe that.
What a bunch of pansies getting paid millions of dollars to go to work. And let's talk about their training camp because it used to start the first week of June. Now we get to like August 1st and they're like, oh, you guys got to get back here. And some of y'all aren't even going to show up. It's horrible. Right. And then they've added the 17th game. They've reduced our preseason from 4 to 3 games unless you're in the Hall of Fame game. I know that. But Super Bowl's in February. I mean, it goes up against Mardi Gras, so New Orleans can't even have the Super Bowl most years. I mean, it's really kind of – and you want to know? They have more injuries because they don't have the reps, just like you said, because they're not playing in June and July. And you know, I mean, they aren't even padding up for some of this stuff. It's such pansy stuff.
Can we move the season back?
No,
Can we get
can't.
the playoffs to start like right around Thanksgiving? Or is that the college time?
That's the college. Yeah, that's college time.
But they play on different days. They play Friday, Saturday, and they don't play Sundays usually. But now, you know, it's all year long that everybody's like, you know, what is it? We got Monday Night Football. Now there's a Wednesday for the Seahawks, which I'm like, dude, come on, really? I mean, I don't mind having my own day and being the first team to play and being able to raise that banner in front of the Patriots. And just rubbing their nose. It's like insult to injury. Just we're going to rub that dirty little dog's face in his own pile of poo. It's like, here, Drake May, don't do that. You're bad dog. You know?
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, Nate, thank you, man.
Anyway,
we appreciate you. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, buddy. We're going to go ahead and go to the second line. We got Chris on the line. Chris, how are you today, my friend?
Good. How are y'all doing today?
We're doing fantastic. What's going on, buddy?
Not much. Hey, Paul, if C.J. Stroud's having a rough year, you know what that might mean, right?
Tell us.
D'Amico might be in play.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know, man. For me, I'm just like, how many years are they going to keep giving this guy an opportunity? I didn't think he was good enough. I mean, he had that really good game against Georgia, and I know a lot of people were like, oh, my gosh, C.J. Stroud can actually run, because he never ran during Ohio State's his whole years at Ohio State. He very rarely ran, and then he played like a baller against Georgia in that overtime game or in that last-second field goal game. I can't remember if it went overtime or not, but I don't know, man. Do you think that's what's going to happen?
No, I mean, maybe. I'm just trying to stir the pot a little bit. You were talking about succession plans and who Alabama would even call. And, you know, there's three guys from the NFL that obviously you would take in a heartbeat, and two of them play out west, coach out west, but I don't know how well they were. Once, you know, Shanahan at least has Atlanta ties. You would take Shanahan over. Would you take Shanahan over McVay if you had a wish list?
Ooh, no.
I don't know. It depends on what you want for longevity. I don't think McVay would stay very long. I just don't. No. I don't.
That's why you go D'Amico, because at least his heart would be attached until. The problem is the NFL's got too much money and it doesn't have any of the other stuff attached to it. You know.
Yeah, and the way the college game has changed now to where it's more like the NFL. Why would you go mess with that whenever you could just be where they've got, you know, all of the collective bargain agreement stuff and all the Players Association and all that stuff, so you wouldn't have to manage all that.
And the other thing I wanted to talk about is you're talking about succession plans. No one's really done that very well at all. Ohio State's done the best if you look at their coaches since the 90s.
Yeah.
LSU's done all right, but they failed with Kelly. But, I mean, you know, LSU wasn't – I don't even know who the coaches before Saban were. I know that there was a legendary coach in the 90s, but I don't think he ever won anything, maybe an SEC title. You know, the SEC kind of blew up in when the BCS kind of happened, you know, and it kind of went from there because the TV money got so huge because they realized that football. So, you know, you can kind of blame Saban in Alabama if you really want to, but, you know, like to, you know, dude's point, you know, like all the dudes they had to be head coaches all left. You know, people paid them money to leave, you know, and you can, you know, was Kirby going to be the coach in waiting? Kirby wasn't going to wait there another 7-8 years, you know? No. Right. So, you know, his own success. So it's just one of those things where no one's really handled succession very well because there's so much money to go elsewhere. So it's hard. And, you know, no one was going to have Saban's, you know, detail-oriented, you know, except for someone that played under him that's super smart, which D'Amico is.
And I think if D'Amico Ryans had if he even hinted that he would come to Alabama, half of Alabama would fire DeBoer tomorrow and bring him on, though. Because I'm telling you, the love is not there. I don't know if it's the disconnect because he's not a Southern guy or what, but it is just there's a larger deny of allowing this guy because he hasn't done he hasn't done terrible. He went to the playoffs, and that's the thing I was trying to say. But you're right. The succession plan of all these teams have just been okay at best. I mean, because really, unless you talk about, look at what happened with Spurrier. I mean, if you take Urban Meyer away, what has happened since Spurrier?
I wouldn't even call Coach O a succession plan. It was a succession accident, is what it was. No, seriously.
Les Miles was an accident.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, Les Miles was let go. Coach O kind of stepped in. He did okay. And then they were like, okay, do we want this Houston coach or do we want this guy who's Cajun who's going to bleed purple?
Right.
And they were like, okay, now we got to think about money a little bit and everything. And they went with Coach O, which apparently was the correct answer. It was a good decision. But LSU's had one succession plan since I've been aware of anything, and that was Mike Archer took over from Bill Arnsparger in the late 80s. He won the SEC his first year, won 10 games, and that's been the only succession plan ever since I've been really kind of alive.
Yeah, because Jerry DiNardo did not do it.
Jerry DiNardo got fired. Saban left on his own. Les Miles not on his own.
Yeah.
Coach O was fired. Now Brian Kelly. We've had one succession, and it was in the late 80s.
Yeah.
Well, in Ohio State got lucky because they had to let Tressel go, and then Cooper was basically forced to be let go, and then they took Tressel out of 1AA. So, how many 1AA coaches are going to get you a national championship and lead you to a title every other year? Not very many, I would guess.
No, you're exactly right. I think that was, they've done well. They have done well. To me, they've done the best because they didn't have the fall off, the big fall off.
And if you know me, I'm not an Ohio State guy. I've lived in Ohio before, but I'm not an Ohio State person. So, I give them the props only for a certain couple of things, but it's just they're the only ones that have successfully gone from coach to coach. Even Fickle. Fickle's a good coach. He just, he's in an unfortunate situation being there when Tressel was let go. So, and then they were able to get Urban. So, I think Ohio State's in a position where they can maybe get some coaches. Because, the Big Ten might have won. I think it's easier to go undefeated in the Big Ten. So that's going to be my point.
I'm going to say this too. I want to say this real quick about Ryan Day. If you recall, the fans they don't love Ryan Day. They're good with winning, and they want national champions. But they don't love Ryan. It's almost it's a little bit like Kalen DeBoer with Alabama. As long as he wins, they're put up with him. Mm-hmm. But they don't love Ryan Day. As much as Ryan Day tries to put on the facade that he's this Ohio guy and that he's trying to, us against the world and, try to be mad all the time and with his black beard and black hair.
His dye job.
But, again, he's in a particular situation where if they do have a drop-off and lose – and don't make the playoff or something, there will be crazy Ohio State fans calling for his head too.
Well, he's lucky that the last time they lost to Michigan, they also won the national championship.
Yes,
he got fortunate there.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
He's off of him for a couple of years, but he's getting all this talent. You better start winning.
You're not kidding. Well, Chris, thank you for the call, man. We appreciate you so much. Always listening. Enjoy your calls, man.
Yeah, man. All right, you'll have a good one. Good talking to you,
buddy. Thank you, Chris.
You look across the nation, and I know the Hurricanes had one succession thing. Ryan Day up at Ohio State, but a lot of schools, Texas, they don't have succession.
No, they fall off because, and like Alabama, all of their coaches were going somewhere else, and because they wanted to be that, or they had, like Kirby, for example, he was an alumnus. So you can't stay somewhere and coach there. When your alumnus is sitting right there wide open, ready to go. Yeah. All right, well, that does it. Thanks so much for Alan Watson at Golf Plus, Coach Tommy Joe Whidden from the Mosley Dolphins. We appreciate you. You know what tomorrow is, baby. It is Friday. We will see you then. Have a great night, everyone.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
It's a coin toss game for me. You're going to totally have a coin flip on this one. I think Tennessee will be pretty well. Alabama on the road